Hartlike goeiedag en baie welkom aan al ons boere en ons vriende in die landbougemeenskap. Dit is sommer baie lekker om weer vandag saam met julle te kuier. Nou ja, ek gaan met die deur in die huis val want ons het 'n vol program wat voorlê. Ons ateljeegas vir die nuusgesprek is Iyambo, voorsitter van die Namibiese Akkerbouraad, maar self ook 'n baie suksesvolle vrugte- en groenteboer daarbo in die noorde. En ons gaan 'n bietjie gesels oor die groente- en vrugtebedryf in hierdie land en gewassebou in die algemeen. Om aan te sluit daarbey, lê Elvira Hattingh, my kollega op Grootfontein, besoek af op die plaas van vanjaar se Oeskoning. Nou dit is meneer Mavuto Mwanza. Hy is die plaasbestuurder van Kalahari Holdings se PLAAS TOE daar by Grootfontein. Bly ingeskakel vir 'n lekker en opwindende program. Dit is my baie groot voorreg om meneer Iyambo vandag hier in die ateljee te verwelkom. Goeiedag Michael.
Dankie Ronald.
Michael, jy is voorsitter van die Namibiese Akkerbouraad, maar jy is self ook 'n baie suksesvolle groente- en vrugteboer. Oshikoto Fresh Fruit and Vegetables daar by Shumep.
Ja.
En ek het jou ontmoet, ons het nou vanoggend gesels, wat was dit, 15 jaar terug seker?
Ja, definitely 15 jaar.
Ja, was ek daar by jou op die plaas en ek kan onthou ongelooflik beïndruk ek was.
Ja.
Vertel ons net so 'n bietjie hoe jy jou toetrede gemaak het tot die tuinboubedryf, tot die produseer van groente en vrugte en wat doen jy spesifiek alles?
Ja, Ronald, dankie vir die geleentheid. And let me just maybe give a background of the business. The business was started in 2005 and now running for more or less 15 years now. It's really more of a passion than anything else. Obviously, it's the interest to the sector and the passion then drives everything throughout. So, yeah, we are growing more or less about 9 lines, high value crops, your potatoes, onions, maize and wheat, but the rest will be cash crops, obviously your cabbage, your sweet potatoes, a bit of tomatoes, beetroot, carrots, yeah, so that's more or less the lines that we are growing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael, die Akkerbouraad het die afgelope paar jaar baie gedoen om plaaslike produsente te ondersteun deur hulle market share promotion of hulle markaandeel bevorderingsstelsel. Kortliks, hoe werk dit en op watse persentasie staan hierdie stelsel nou?
Yeah, maybe for the understanding, NAB or Namibian Agronomic Board is a regulator of all agronomic crops and horticultural crops and fruits. So you will compare it to the sister company like Meatboard. So Agronomic Board is stimulating production with a developmental agenda. So hence we are not penalizing neighboring countries to bring in vegetables, but we are trying to develop the local content. And hence farmers are very appreciative through that government initiative to make sure that there is a local content in all the lines that we want to grow. So the lines that we are pushing is more on vegetables, and we have run into a ceiling, more or less to say. So we are sitting at, for MSP, we are sitting at 46% now, 47% now. The drive is to try and get it to 50% in the next short term.
That means we produce 50% of what we consume locally.
And in fact, we are also producing what we export, because there are also data that is showing us that we are exporting some of the products. For example, yesterday we had our National Horticultural Task Team that is responsible for the leaders that are in the regions. Then they come in and then we discuss the issues of the industry. And we have picked up that there is some growth of exports. For example, your butternuts, some farmers have started exporting to Britain or to UK, butternuts and so on. So it's good signs that we are forecasting.
Okay, that's good to know. But what do we still import? What do we not produce locally that we need to import from neighboring countries or elsewhere?
Yeah, Ronald, what is important for the viewers to understand is, or the Namibian population to understand is, the basket is quite big. So at the current moment, and it's a mix of cash crops and obviously your fruits, and obviously the agronomy side. But what we are importing now on the fruits and vegetables is more potatoes. And there are reasons for it, because potatoes are not easy product to grow. It also entails you to have a rest of your soils before you, like 4 years, 5 years before you come back with the same potato crop. So those are the challenges. And then obviously the funding part of it and the risk aspects that are related to the potato production is also quite a challenge. We have things like your citrus or your fruits that are coming in. Apples, citrus is quite a big line that is also being imported from South Africa. And there are also reasons for it. The apples part, yes, we are seeing some developments in the country where we are seeing people who are trying to do some research around the apple production. But the citrus, it's really more of a permanent crop. So you get your value or your monetary value after 4 or 5 years. And that is a challenge because we don't have patient money in Namibia. Everyone who then invests as an investor would want to recoup in the next year or so and not wait for 4 years. And I think those are the discussions that we have as a sector to try and ensure that we get the permanent crops established.
Verlede jaar het ons nou gesien met COVID-19. Ek weet ek het in die nuus gelees dat die Suid-Afrikaanse produsente gesukkel het om produkte uit te voer. Jy weet, daar was probleme gewees met die verskeping ensovoorts. Nou plaaslik skole was gesluit, lodges het leeg gestaan, restaurante was lank toe. Hoe het dit ons plaaslike produsente beïnvloed?
Yeah, I must say the COVID pandemic has allowed some opportunities for the farmers. So you are seeing a lot of small-scale farmers and medium-scale farmers coming up. But the bigger guys with the volumes had to scale down, fortunately or unfortunately, and they are redesigning their farms to suit the current and also the risk aspects of the crops that they want to grow. Yes, we are dealing with perishables products. The markets are quite far from where the production units are. So if you look at the areas where people are producing, it's quite far from Windhoek, and that's where the main market is. Yes, restaurants have closed, or there was lockdowns on restaurants or limitations of people to sit around. You've got also a challenge of the lodges that have closed. So the tourist sector has a big impact on the horticulture industry because that's really what we eat every day. Your salads, your mashed potatoes in the restaurant with a good steak of meat. So and that has a big impact on the ones that are growing volumes. So they had to scale down, and most of the farmers are redesigning their businesses to suit the current situation, like going into high value crops and so on.
Maar hierdie situasie reeds begin herstel in terme van vraag en aanbod soos wat dit voor die pandemie was?
Yeah, there is an improvement. There was a time that we had imported, and I think NAB did an article around imports volumes that has increased at the start of the pandemic, but now there is a change. The volumes are coming in, mostly of the lines that we utilize on a daily basis. And that's and even now as we speak, the potatoes imports have been closed. So that is really assisting the farmers who have got potatoes currently then to sell their potatoes.
Waar in Namibië verbou hulle oral aardappels?
Yeah, we have a few areas where we are growing our potatoes. We are talking about Central, that is a Hoogveld area. We have Karst, which is actually our Tsumeb or Tavi Grootfontein area. There is a bit of pockets here and there, the Kavango region. But currently we are also doing a study with the French embassy. There is a French businessman who's doing potato seeds. We are now on trials. There is a few pockets that we have. Orongo, we have put some trials there. And that is really to assist the farmers to get the volumes and to get the right genes or genetics to the farmers and for the country to have a sustainable business case. And I think that's really, but to answer your question, yes, is those key main areas, Karst, Central, and obviously the Kavango region. Yeah.
Ons is 'n droë land, 'n semi-woestynland, maar ons groot voordeel is groot opgaardamme in die suide. Nou met Nekkertaldam het daai water volumes, jy weet, vir wat 3-dubbel omtrent ten opsigte van wat die Hardap-gebied het. En natuurlik ons grensriviere.
Ja.
Michael, hoe sien jy die toekoms van gewasse bou in Namibië, groente, vrugteproduksie as ook ander gewasse?
Ronald, the future for the agronomy and horticulture industry is looking very promising. It looks very positive, but what we need to do is more planning. Unfortunately, this is not a sector that you go in and think that you are going to make it in a short while. You need patience. The potential is there. We have the resources, like you said, the water and the land. But there are other aspects that we need to interrogate and see how they can assist the sector to grow. We have your electricity cost that is quite very high. We don't have patient money for the sector because everyone is treated like anyone who goes and buy a house and furnish his house, put a TV on and sit and watch his TV is treated like a farmer. It should not be. The farming, the agriculture sector needs a different investment concentration. Currently, where we are seeing, and as you said, the growth of those different regions where the waters are, the green schemes, for example, we need to come to the realization that the private sector can assist and get the green schemes off the ground. And I think with the current Minister of Agriculture, and we are going to try and get inroads on that because there is a kind of an understanding how the green schemes should be run going forward. But the potential is there. There is quite a lot of potential in all the regions that you have just mentioned. Nakatal Dam, again, is more planning. We needed to understand the soils. We needed to understand, yes, we built a dam, but now we have a challenge of developing that dam because the infrastructure, the irrigation systems, and even the land availability, which is at Nakatal, needs to be understood. Who does it belong to? How do we go in there? And I mean, there is a big scope. If you look at the grape industry for exports, there is a big scope of export. The blueberries are coming very well on board. So those export products are the ones that are going to assist us. Yes, there is space for everyone, small-scale farmers and medium-scale farmers, but one has to look at the sustainability of starting a farm in the south, for example. Yeah.
Michael, dan wil ek jou 'n bietjie vra oor AMTA, 'n warm patat.
Ja.
Dit is natuurlik die Agro-bemarkings- en handelsagentskap. Die Akkerbouraad het verlede jaar AMTA se funksies oorgeneem. Wat het daar gebeur en hoe sien jy die pad vorentoe vir AMTA?
Yeah, as you said, it has always been a hot topic of discussion in the country. The unfortunate part is, or the fortunate part is, we needed to understand each other's mandates. Yes, AMTA was appointed as an agent of the board, and unfortunately, they did not perform the task as required by the board, and then the board then decided to cancel the agency. There is a process still ongoing to finalize the issue. But currently everything within regulations, and that's all what we were looking at. So AMTA was doing three things at once. So they were an agent of the board. They were then managing the strategic food reserves of government, and they were also managing the hubs, the fresh fruit hubs in the two regions, which is the Kavango and Ongwediva, or the north. But unfortunately, I don't think the mandates were understood correctly. And that's hence the board's mandate was compromised, and then the board felt it's then wise just to withdraw the mandate or the task and bring it over within the NAB. So those staff members who were working on the regulatory aspects have come over to NAB. When we took over, we had about 15 staff members. Now we are sitting at 85 or 86 staff members at NAB. We were dealing with those tasks. So it's your border control, it's your farm inspections, levy collection. Those were the key aspects that AMTA was doing for the board. AMTA going forward, AMTA is a new board. I'm sure they are working on their strategy to see how best. So they are also identified as a commercial entity or SOE. So they need to make the business case work. So they are sitting with the hubs where they can then move the product, the fresh fruit and vegetables. They are sitting with the hubs, with the strategic food reserves, that is the government silos that they are managing. That also is a business case on its own. So recently, we have given AMTA a license to operate as a miller. It's based in Okatuti, Katuti border post. So they have a product on the market that they are selling maize meal. So going forward on the business case of AMTA, I think AMTA board will be better placed to tell us what is the strategy, how do they see going with, and I think it's people who knows and understand business on that board. It will actually be an opportune time for AMTA to give AMTA a chance to reply to that specific answer on the future of AMTA. It will really open up and people to understand where AMTA's future lies.
Baie dankie Michael, ek sal dan 'n punt daarvan maak om AMTA hier in die ateljee te kry en met hulle te gesels. Baie dankie vir jou tyd, baie sterkte daar op Oshikoto.
Dankie Ronald, waardeer.
Bly ingeskakel vir ons Plaas Toe video.
B-Fly, reach for the sky. Accelerate your connectivity and soar with Paratus Sky-Fi, starting from only $799 Namibian per month and with internet speeds of up to 15 megabits per second. You get to spread your wings and fly high. Visit na.paratus.africa for more information.
Always prepared, Paratus.
Thank you for Mwanza, Mavuto Mwanza. You are welcome to the Rust Farm, Kalahari Holdings. The Rust Farm is under Kalahari Holdings, and Kalahari Holdings is a business arm of Uspapo Party. Manager of the Rust Farm. I'm proud to announce that we are 2021 Maize Kings. We are the champions in maize production, dryland maize production, having achieved 9.5 tons per hectare under dryland production. Anyone can achieve this. We here at the farm also we are doing mixed production. We have cattle, we are doing horticulture, and also maize production. We'll show you what we are doing at our horticulture. We'll show you also our livestock, how healthy they are looking. So we are giving a full basket in food security to the nation. This is the planter we were using to make sure that the seed is going to germinate without being affected mostly. you have to make sure that the seed is dropped not directly onto the fertilizer. You have to shift the fertilizer, the seed hopper away from the fertilizer hopper, which is there. This ecological region, which is the maize triangle, the maize belt of Namibia. That's where most of the maize is produced. And in this region, in this ecological region, we have a lot of farmers. We are very, very good farmers. This is achievable. Anyone can achieve this. And we have some tips or techniques which we can share with people to know our success story, to share our success story with the people so that we can all be there. Have a pre-planting meeting with other farmers. There is a lot of technology, new technology, which you might not know. Myself, before I started with anything here, I invited the farmers around us. We have our neighbors like Mr. Klaas, Mr. Gerard, just to mention a few, who came around here at our farm. Then I was asking questions. We are not here to compete with each other. We want to help each other produce more, feed the nation. And at the same time, we are increasing your pocket size. Then point number 2, seed. We talk of a bad season, a good season, a bad weather, a good season, a good season. In seeds also, there is bad seed and good seed. So a farmer should not just go into the shop, grab a bag, because this is seed which is being sold in a shop. If you are planting like in mid-December, we have January, February, and in March, the conditions are becoming so unfavorable. Let's say, let me just say you have 3 better months to produce maize. 3. You just go into the market. You buy a variety, a maize seed, which takes 5 months to reach physical maturity. Already you failed. The seed which is also drought stress tolerant, and drought stress and heat tolerant, because during the growing season you might also come across the mid-season droughts. The other thing you have to look at is land preparation. The important equipment I'm using here is a reaper. That's why I said I'm doing a kind of minimum tillage. I'm not using much of a disc. In some areas I used a disc. The disc helps to control the weeds. For you to succeed, you have to make the roots happy. So the roots should develop well into the soil. You have to prepare the soil to conserve more water. The third one is on weed control. Weeds, if I can tell you, if you are having in your field weeds in your maize crop in the first 5 weeks, if I can say, you will lose your yield by about 50%. So I had to come up with a very good chemical program. If you had come during the time when our crops were growing in the fields were clean. So when you are doing dryland production, that is another key factor to take care of. You need your fields to be clean. You don't want your crop to compete with the weeds, because the weeds are taking up the nutrients, number one. They are also taking up of the limited resource, which is water. This is our chemical sprayer, and we invested into this robust, equipment, machinery. It is very important to our farm. for the control of weeds and the control of pests also. It covers 24 meters at a go. So this one, I would say, replaced the mechanical type of cultivation which we were using here. So you need to know how to use the chemicals also. So as you can see behind me, we have hay bales here, which we are getting from the fields. After harvesting the maize, we get the stover from there and they go and feed to the livestock. And from the livestock, we get manure, which we are plowing back into the fields. So there is nothing which is wasted here. That is the beauty of mixed type of farming. The manure which we are getting from the cattle is also helping to boost the yield in crops. And the hay which we are getting here, our cattle will maintain the condition of our cattle when there is no enough grass in the paddocks.
And as you can see here, these are strictly the heifers, and also the male and the female ones also that we have also win from their mothers. And here now we are keeping them with the bull. All over there, that's one of the bull, so that it can also now start the breeding season already on the heifers that we have win from their mothers. This is the results of crossbreed. So this one we can call them as crossbreed because we have a Brahman bull and also a Zebra bull.
Nou ja, voordat ons groet, kyk ons gebruiklik na die veilinge van die komende week en ons gee ook 'n terugblik op hoe die vleispryse van die afgelope week gelyk het. Op 25 Augustus het WLA veiling by Hoogveld, NLA op Arrenos, Blouberg by Grootfontein, Namboer het hier in Windhoek die Van Rooi produksie veiling en Agri het op Otjiwarongo, Keetmanshoop en in Windhoek veilings. Op die 27ste Augustus Vrydag het WLA 'n grootvee veiling by Gobabis, NLA het 'n groot en klein vee veiling by Mariental, Namboer het 'n losgoedveiling hier in Windhoek en dan het Agri sy veiling op Otawi. Op die 28ste Saterdag, onthou is dit weer Namboer se wildveiling daar in die Bomas by Sea-Ice. En dan op die 31ste het WLA veiling by Rehoboth, kleinvee veiling, en Agri het op die plaas Namibiese daar by Oudtshoorn as ook by Okahanya veilings. Wat die vleispryse betref, natuurlik het die skaap abattoir, uitvoer abattoir daarop Aranos het sy deure gesluit en ons slag nie meer skape vir die uitvoermark nie. Dan wat Meatco se pryse hier in Windhoek betref, as ook Meatco in die NCA op Katima Mulilo, as ook beefkor se pryse, kan u daar sien vir die grade A, B, B en C. Op die veilings die week van 16 Augustus, verlede week het tollies gemiddeld $38.53 per kilogram verkoop verse, $35.71 per kilogram, stoorosse $29.81 per kilogram, stoorverse $27.41, slagosse $28.06, slagverse $28.12, koeie wisselend dan van vet tot maar, tussen $23.41 tot $28.42, gemiddeld per kilogram, slagbulle $25.45, koeie met kalvers het verkoop vir $12.680 gemiddeld, slagskaap heel wat beter as die vorige week, pryse het gestyg vir dorpers van $36.15 die vorige week, tot $39.17 gemiddeld per kilogram die week van 16 Augustus. So ook vetstert skape wat verlede week $39.06 gemiddeld by veilings behaal het, terwyl bokke stuk vir $1.420 verkoop het. Nou ja, dit bring ons dan aan die einde van vandag se program. Mag julle almal 'n wonderlike en 'n geseënde week hê. Ons hou ook duim vas vir veldbrande op plase. Tref asseblief betyds nodige voorsorg en wees tog baie versigtig op die plase waar houtskool gebrand word. En onthou die weerkantoor se weerwaak vir donderdag wat baie koue weer oor die suide en die weste van die land in beweeg en dan die suide wat gaan les op sê Saterdag en Vrydag en Saterdag. Totsiens.